Okay, we're looking at the homework, page 3. Number 1, that's a subject that I don't want to talk about. No, it. You can also skip the that because the word that is replacing this position. This position is the object. And for relative pronouns, if your pronoun is an object, you can skip it. So that's a subject I don't want to talk about. No, it. Number 2, a person who writes, no, he, with his left hand is called a lefty. Number 3, our family brought home a new kitten that we found, no, it, at the animal shelter. Number 4, what is the name of the radio program? Okay, there are 2 ways to fix this. That many people listen to on Saturday nights. So move the 2 here. The other way to fix this, we are going to talk about today. You can change this word to which. Today we're going to talk about how you can move or you should move a preposition if you use the word which, but you cannot move a preposition if you use the word that. So if this is which, it's correct. Number 5, the candidate, same thing, for whom you vote or that you vote for. Should be honest. Now, if you say that you vote for a candidate, the word that is an object, so you can skip that. Actually, same thing here. Because this is the object of a preposition, you can skip the word that also. You can just say the name of the radio program many people listen to. Number 6. Here's a picture of Nancy that I took with my cell phone. You're talking about a picture. You're not talking about Nancy. You're talking about a picture. So it's that I took with my cell phone. And again, you can skip the word that because it's an object. So you can also say, here's a picture of Nancy I took with my cell phone. 7. People who have high cholesterol should watch their diets. Now, this unit is relative clauses, but if we were not limited to relative clauses, you can also fix this sentence by replacing this word with. People with high cholesterol. Number 8, Susie is going to marry the man she has always loved. Know him. You can also say the man that, the man whom, or the man who. Number 9, there's an article in today's newspaper about a woman who is 7 feet tall, or that, no, she is 7 feet tall. And number 10, passengers who or that have children may board the plane first. Questions about this page? All right, next page, page 4. Number 1, no commas. We need this part to tell us which man. So no commas. It is essential information. Number 2, no commas. Again, we need this essential information to tell us which book we're talking about. So no commas. Number 3, Mrs. Ching, comma, whose dog is always barking, comma, is very wealthy. So in this case, there's only one Mrs. Ching. We don't need this middle part to tell us which Mrs. Ching. So this is not essential information. So we put it between two commas, comma here, comma here. Number 4, no commas. We need this to tell us which people we're talking about. This is essential information. Number 5, no comma. Uh, if you have this kind of structure, which we will talk about today, you cannot, well, you can, I guess. Why don't you need a comma here? I know you don't. Okay, so this doesn't really tell us anything, right? Yaoundé is the city. If you know that this is the name of a city, then this sentence doesn't tell you anything. Oh, okay, no. Okay, I got it. I got it. Okay. It's this. It's this. The word the. Simply saying Yaoundé is the city, this sentence is incomplete. Like, why are we singling out this city? Why are we focusing on this city? And you need the second half of this sentence to tell us the essential information of why we are focusing on this city. Now, if the sentence says Yaoundé is a city, then there should be a comma here. Because Yaoundé is a city needs no extra information. It is itself a complete sentence, a complete idea. And you would only be adding the extra information that I was born there. So in this case, the city, you do need this to explain what you're talking about. It is essential information, no comma. Number 6, commas. Ms. Voisu, comma, who is a student, comma, is from Romania. In this case, we only have one Ms. Voisu. We don't need this information to tell us which person we're talking about. This is extra information, commas. Number 7, commas. Tumba, comma, whose children are very energetic, comma, is always exhausted. Again, in this situation, we only have one Tumba. So this is not essential information. We put it in between two commas. Now, some of you might be thinking, okay, like if for example, in question 6, what if we have two Ms. Voisus? And so this becomes essential information. It's possible, but in this case, you also need to add the word the to the front. The Ms. Voisu, who is a student, is from Romania. In that case, you're saying among the two or more Ms. Voisus, the one that is a student is the one that we're talking about. So it's the same logic as this use of the. Okay, questions about this part? Okay, next part. Yeah, okay, so it's also asking about commas. Number 3, comma. If you don't add commas here, right? Do you have color on your handout? Oh, you do have color. Okay, so If you add commas, they are always in front of and behind the gray parts, right? So here, uh, comma here. Number 3 needs commas because if you don't have commas, then what you're saying is only the rice which is grown in many countries is a staple food. And therefore, if you have a kind of rice that is only grown in one country, it is not a staple food throughout much of the world. But really, we're not talking about uh, rice that is or is not grown in different countries, in more than one country. We're just talking about the thing that is called rice. So this middle part is explaining something about rice. It is not changing the meaning of what kind of rice we're talking about. Compare this to number 4, which does not need commas. Here you are saying, what kind of rice? This kind of rice. This is helping us to understand what kind of rice we're talking about. Depending on what you say in the middle, it changes the meaning of the word rice. So in this case, it is specifying the rice which we had for dinner last night was very good. In other words, it is not saying anything about the rice we had 2 nights ago. Could be good, could be bad, we don't know. This sentence is not related. So this part is essential to understanding what kind of rice we're talking about. Number 5, no comma. Number 6, commas. Number 7, comma. You only have, okay, most people only have one hometown. So this part is extra information. Even if we don't have this part, we know which town you're talking about. So, comma. Number 8, no comma. Number 9, no commas. This is actually an English phrase. It's an English saying. People who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. The idea is before attacking other people, you should check whether what you say would also be attacking yourself, whether you could also be easily attacked for something. And number 10, commas. Now, if the difference between adding commas and not adding commas is still a little bit confusing for you, you can compare the examples in this part of the homework, right? What is different between number 3 and number 4? What is different about number 5 and number 6? What is different about number 7 and number 8? If you can see that difference, then you will learn when you should add commas and when you should not add commas. Okay, questions about this page? All right, moving on. Page 5. Number 3, yes, commas in front of and behind this part. Number 4, no. Number 5, yes. Number 6, yes. Here. Number 7, no. Number 8, yes. Here. Number 9, yes. Number 10, no. Number 11, no. Number 12, no. Number 13, no. Number 14, yes. Number 15, no. And number 16, yes. Another clue, which this part used a lot, is you cannot add a comma in front of the word that. So if it uses the word that, no comma. Questions about this page? Okay, moving on. Number 6. First mistake. This is talking about a test. So it shouldn't be who, it should be that or which. Next mistake. Cannot add a comma before that. So this one must be which. Next mistake. This is talking about the results. So it should also be which. And then there's a comma, so you cannot use that. Next mistake. This should be the subject, right? My friends mean a lot to me. This is the complete sentence. This is the subject of the sentence. So it should be who or that. Last mistake. Everyone who wants to find out more, or everyone that wants to find out more. This is the complete sentence. You'll notice that you are replacing the subject. So you cannot skip the relative pronoun. You do have to put in who or that. Questions? Moving on. Next page, next part. Okay, so it wants us to add commas if necessary and also try to change it to that if we can. Okay, so let's see. Commas. And because there are commas, you cannot change it to that. Number 4, no commas. So we can change the word which to that. Number 5, commas. But in the second sentence, no commas. But it's replacing of the man. Whose means belonging to, of the man. So you cannot change this to that. Number 6, commas. So like we're not talking about different kinds of goats. This sentence is saying that all goats were first tamed more than 9,000 years ago in Asia. So this part is not changing the meaning of the word goats. Therefore, it is extra information. We have to add commas. Number 7, no commas. Change this to that. Now, personally, I would also add a that here. Look at the structure of this sentence. This is actually 2 sentences, right? The goat got on the wrong side of the fence, and the goat is eating her flowers. So it's 2 sentences. Now, I like to repeat the relative pronoun that at the beginning of each new sentence, just to make sure the reader knows what we're talking about. It's not required, but I think it's a better idea. Okay, questions about this page? All right, moving on, page 7. Commas or no commas? Oh, wait, is this part of the homework? It shouldn't have been. Sorry about that. We'll save this for later. Hmm? Yeah. No, I think we can do this now. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so like, um, the same logic applies even if the word is not that or which or who. So, like, does this change the meaning of the word the city? Yes, it does. No comma. Number 2, does this change the meaning of Mexico City? It does not. Add a comma. Number 3, no commas. Number 4, comma. Number 5, comma. Number 6, comma. Number 7, no comma. Number 8, commas. Yeah, that's it. So this is the only 2 places where you need commas. Okay, questions about this page? All right, page 8. If you can take out the word that, take out the word that. In other words, is the word that the subject or the object of the sentence? Number 3, take out. Number 4, take it out. Number 5, leave it in. Number 6, leave it in. Okay, next part. Okay, first of all, do you have questions about these 4? Okay, next part. Take out the extra pronouns. All right. Take out this. Take out this. Take out this. Take out this. And take out this. Questions? Okay, moving on. Same thing. Take out this. The word it. Number 3, take out them. Number 4, take out him. Number 5, take out her. Number 6, take out it. Number 7, take out them. And number 8, take out the first it. Questions? All right, last one, chapter or page 9. All right, so it's relative clauses, phrases, or punctuation. Did I say to finish page 9? Yeah? Okay, so let's do this together. This should be waiting or who were waiting. Remember, If it is a relative pronoun plus a be verb, you can take both of them out. So the full answer is who were waiting, but you can also just say waiting. Number 2, who live on campus. Number 3, the librarian who is sitting or just sitting. Number 4, this might take a bit more effort to fix. Okay, no, it's not. It's fine. My best friend is Anna, comma, whose birthday? Number 5, Sapporo, comma, which is, or you can even skip the which is, right? Because it's a relative pronoun plus a be verb. You can take that out. But the comma is the most important thing. Number 6, Patrick, comma, who is my oldest brother, comma, is married, etc. Number 7, who is sitting or just sitting? And then take out the him. Right? This is someone who I've never met, whom I've never met, that I've never met. You don't need the him. Or just I've never met because this is the object. You can skip it if it's the object. Number 8, that is located, which is located, or just located. Number 9, that I wanted to speak to, or who to whom I wanted to speak. I guess you could also say who I wanted to speak to. Number 10, who are, wait, hang on. Okay, it says there are 80 students. Okay, so in total, there are only 80 students. No matter what we say in the middle, it does not change how we understand this part. So, okay, this should be who are from, that's right, who are from all over the world. And then this should be that are studying, who are studying, or just studying. Studying is the best answer because it does not repeat the who are or that are. There should be a better way to write this sentence, right? This sentence does not actually need relative clauses. This is so annoying. The best sentence is 80 students from all over the world study English at this school. No commas. This is a really bad question. Okay, number 11. Who we met, know them. Or that we met, or whom we met. Number 12, comma, who. And then another comma after Spanish. Number 13. Okay, comma, and this should be some of whom. We're going to talk about this later today. Number 14, who can. Okay, and number 15. Oh, perfect. I'm right after this, I'm going to introduce this concept. This should be comma, which. Okay, so I'm going to explain 15 later, but first, do you have other questions about this page? Okay, so let's begin week 2 of relative clauses, and the first thing I'm going to talk about is this. It should be comma, which, but you might be thinking, what is the which? What is it replacing? It's a pronoun. What word is it replacing? And the answer is it's not replacing any word. It is what we call a sentence which. If this is the word which, it replaces the entire sentence. So in fact, the meaning is the same as you see in this question. This refers to the entire thing. Oh, that's perfect. I don't need to give you my own example. But if I wanted to give you an example, I would say something like, the class ended early, which was surprising. What does the word which mean? It means this entire sentence. That's why we call it a sentence which. And as you saw in the previous question, the meaning is the same as if you replaced the word which with this. These two sentences mean exactly the same thing. Okay, questions about this? This is today's first concept. Okay, if you don't have questions about this, let's next talk about the which preposition shift. This is where when you use the word which after a preposition, the preposition moves with the which. We also saw a few examples of this earlier. We also like whom also does this, but we don't have to use the word whom today. It's mostly about the word which. So okay, let's do this together. How do we put B into A? Well, the repeated thing is class, right? So this will become our relative pronoun. B into A, we begin with A, the class. Okay, repeated. So usually we say that, and then we move to sentence B. I was talking about, okay, we have finished sentence B. We go back to sentence A, is very interesting. So that's the usual sentence. Now, if we want to use the word which, there's one thing we have to pay attention to. It replaces this, and this comes after a preposition. So in this case, if you use the word which, you have to take the preposition with you when you move. Let me show you. Wait. Let's do this step by step. So first, you change that to which, right? That becomes which. Everything else is the same. But you also have to move the preposition with you. So the correct sentence looks like this: about which. Let's do this for whom. We can even use the same. We can even use the same sentence. Right. So same thing, right? Except now we're talking about a person. So instead of that, your other choice is who. Now, in this case, talking about somebody. So this is an object, not a subject. So you can also use whom because it's an object. But if you use whom, you also have to bring the preposition with you. So it becomes about whom. Finally, if your preposition phrase also has an indeterminate pronoun like some, any, all, a little, a few, that part also has to be moved along with the preposition. And we just saw this example, right? This one. It said the original is some of them, but them becomes who. Um, it's an object after the word of, so the better answer is whom. Therefore, you have to move the of along with the whom. And because you have an indeterminate pronoun, you also have to move this alongside. So the correct answer, as we just mentioned, is some of whom. Let me just write that out for you. Right. So because you not only have of, you also have some. So both of these have to move along with your relative pronoun. Let's try another example. Let's say I'm stuck in a bad situation. Putting B into A, we begin with A. Okay, so like the repeated word is options, right? Option, option. Okay, so putting B into A, starting with A, I only have two options. Now, it says only. So no matter what comes next, it does not change the meaning of these options. Therefore, it is extra information, comma. Okay, and then usually we would say that and then go back to the beginning of B. Neither is good, but this is wrong because neither is I guess this is an adverb, right? But like you need to say neither what. So you have to say neither of. But you can't use of. Well, in this case, you would want to use which. So the best answer is neither of which is good. So we have changed option to of which, and the sentence does not begin with this. It begins with neither because this is an indeterminate pronoun kind of word. That's a really bad example. Let's see if we can come up with a better example. Oh, there's an easy fix. Um, let's see. Let's say I have 3 options, and then 2 of them are bad. So like I only have 1 good option. So in this case, beginning with A, I have 3 options, and then this would be 2 of which are bad. That seems like the same example. Oh yeah, yeah. So like this, I'm sorry, this is not a pronoun. This is an adjective. It's an indeterminate adjective. There must be a word for this. You guys don't care about the grammar terminology, as long as you know what kind of word that we're talking about, right? Um, quantifiers. That's what they are. Quantifier adjectives. In Chinese, 量词, right? Many, some, few, several, none, any, these kinds of words. Two is also a quantifier. So in this case, you have to move it along with the of. Sorry about that. Do you have questions? Okay. So that's the um, end of the relative pronoun part. Now we get into relative adverbs. 关复. Relative adverbs are the same as relative pronouns, except you're not talking about the subject or the object. You're talking about all of the other question words. So we've talked about that which, we've talked about who whom. So now we have what, when, where, why, and how. You can use these words to form relative clauses also. Let's begin with what. What is a noun? What also functions as a subject or object. When we use it as a relative adverbial kind of thing, it looks like an indirect question. So let's say we have 2 sentences. A, I like the thing. B, you are doing the thing. The example looks fake because it is a fake example. Nobody really takes the word what and separates it. This is just to help you see the logic of this word. So if you put B into A, it looks like I like the thing that you are doing. Right? I like the thing you are doing, right? So I like the thing that you are doing. And this just means I like what you are doing. Because what equals the thing that. Now, if you look at this, we covered this in noun clauses. What you are doing is a noun clause, but you are doing is not a complete sentence because the object is what. You could also say this is an indirect question, right? What you are doing is like, what are you doing? So you can say like, I want to ask you what you are doing. Same thing. It's not a question. This is what I want to ask you. So the original question is, what are you doing? And now I'm saying, I want to ask you this question. Okay. When, where, these two are slightly easier. So when is the place that? So you have like, and it's we'll talk about this after the break. Right. If you need a new handout, I have handouts in the front. If you have not yet taken back your midterm exam, please go to the front and find your midterm exam. Also, if you need to type in. Okay, let's continue. So we're now moving into relative pronouns using question words to connect sentences. This only works if your smaller sentence fits into this part of the sentence structure. It is not part of the main sentence. Right? Remember we said every sentence has a structure, subject, verb, object, and then everything else. Everything else includes place, time, reason, method, tool, condition, possibility. Everything that is not a subject, verb, or object comes at this last part. So if the things you are connecting come at that part of the sentence, then you should use a relative adverb. For example, so like because it comes at this part of the sentence, it will usually come after a preposition. Prepositions are how you add extra information to the end of your sentence. So for example, where is a prepositional phrase related to a place. For example, say you have two sentences. I met my dog at the beach. I go to the beach every Saturday. You'll notice the repeated part is beach. That's how you're going to connect these two sentences. But you'll also notice I is the subject, met is the verb, my dog is the object. This is everything else. So because it's everything else, we can use the word where. Looks something like this. B into A. Yeah, well, okay, so like the second sentence, I go, is a complete sentence. Go does not take an object, right? It's in parentheses. So some sentences don't need an object. Go does not take an object. I go is the complete sentence. Where do you go begins with a preposition. So this is everything else. So no matter, you can combine these sentences both ways in using the word where. Let's do both. So first of all, B into A, beginning with A, I met my dog at the beach. Okay, we have reached the repeated part. And then we say you replace the prepositional phrase with the word where, not to where. You are also replacing the preposition. So to the beach becomes where. And then going to the beginning of sentence B, I go, skipping the middle part that we already have, every Saturday. Let's do this again in the other direction, B into A, beginning with B. I go to the beach. Okay, so that's the repeated part. And then we're going to take this, including the preposition, and turn this into where. Where. And then we go back to the beginning of A. I met my dog. Okay, and then we go back to B and finish B every Saturday. Questions? Okay, next, when. Same thing. Some kind of preposition and then a repeated time. So same thing again. This one is at noon. This one is at noon. We can, but the second sentence is it's an imperative. So you can't put sentence B into sentence A, because it's an imperative sentence. So instead, let's put A into B. Beginning with B, let's meet at noon. And because there's only one time called noon, so it has to be a comma. There are no choices here. No matter what you say, you will not change the definition of the word noon. So the rest is extra information, comma. And then sentence A, at noon becomes when. Sorry, this should be present tense. And then back to the beginning of A, the class ends. Okay, we finished A. Let's go back to B, exclamation point. So it's the same logic. Now, why is a little bit different. Why is a reason, but a reason is a noun. So this looks more like what. If you remember what, it's a thing. A thing is also a reason. And so it ends up looking like an indirect question. Here, an indirect question. Why is the same? So, and again, this is the kind of sentence where we usually would not separate the two parts. I'm just doing this to show you what the logic behind this. The sentence we would usually have is the fact that I was sick is why I missed class. Or is, you can say why or the reason why. Both are fine. If you look at a grammar textbook, it will tell you the reason why is a relative adverb, and then simply why is an indirect question. I don't care. The grammar is correct either way. So the easiest sentence to remember this is why. And this is answering the question, why? Question, why? Answer, this is why. So like, why do you like it? This is why I like it. It's introducing a noun clause. This is a complete sentence. Questions so far? Okay, we have, oh, I think I forgot to say whose, right? Okay, so we have 3 more. Okay, so let's talk about how. How is about way or degree. Degree means like how serious, right? How important. These are degrees, 程度. Or the way that you do something. So we can say like similar to why, right? Um, if your question is how do you do it? Your answer would be this is how I do it. You're introducing a noun clause. So this is way. Degree. Um, so for example, it is very serious. And B is like you can see the degree of like again, this is a fake example that you would never see in the wild. I'm just helping you to see the logic. So in this case, it would be A into B. So you would get you can it is very small, the situation. You can see, and then what how means degree, right? So degree of seriousness is how serious, and then sentence A, the situation is. Okay, next, whose means of whom. Um, Although like in English, we don't often say of whom, right? And so like instead of the car of the boss, we would just say the boss's car, right? So um, when you convert between sentences, you're missing a step. Please keep that concept in mind. So let's see, sentence A. I, huh? I met my boss for the first time at noon. B, I accidentally crashed into my boss's car in the morning. So the repeated thing is boss. In this case, it's part of the sentence, but in this case, it's only describing another thing. So let's put B into A. Begin with A. I met my boss. Now, no matter what I say next, it will not change the meaning of the word boss. It's referring to only one person. So, comma. And this should be whose. Whose car? And then we repeat the rest of sentence B. Whose car I accidentally crashed into in let's say, yeah, in the morning, comma, and then we repeat it. We repeat the rest of sentence A for the first time at noon. So the key idea here is belonging to somebody turns into whose. So far, any questions? Okay, so we have one more thing to talk about. This is a special case of where. Okay, let me think of an example really fast. Okay, so you will see that the repeated word is agreement. Uh, in sentence A, it is part of the main sentence, right? Subject, verb, object. But in sentence B, it is not part of the main sentence. Subject, verb, object, rest of the sentence. So if we put B into A, there are three ways to do this. This is the first way, right? So agreement becomes that, and then you just repeat the rest of sentence B. But you can also use the word which. And we talked about this earlier today. If you use the word which, you also have to move the preposition. So it is made an agreement in which. The third way is what I want to talk about now. In which, another way to say this is wherein. But today, most people just say where. So you can also say, Taylor Swift made an agreement where she earned millions of dollars. Now, when you first see this kind of sentence, you might think it's kind of strange. There is no location in this sentence. There is no place in this sentence. So why are we using the word where? You must remember, in this kind of sentence, we are not using the word where. We are using the word wherein, which means in which. But most people skip the in part of wherein. So it looks like where. Okay, questions? Okay, so that's all you really need to know. We have finished talking about all you need to know about relative pronouns and adverbs. But since we brought up wherein, we can bring in a whole series of other more and more obscure words. So wherein is actually answering the question. It is asking a question that is answered by the word therein, which means in this place or in this whatever. So you can use this structure for basically any preposition, but people don't usually do this anymore today. Today, you will mostly, the most you will see is wherein and therein, or maybe whereafter and thereafter. Whereafter, of course, would mean after which, thereafter is after this. Um, but you can do this for uh, any preposition, right? So where at means at which, there at means at this. Whereof means of which, thereof means of this, and so on. So even if you don't remember these words, if you see one of them in the wild, remember that you can replace the where with like some kind of which, and you can replace the there with some kind of this or that. I just said this, yeah. So this would be after which, therein equals in this, and then after is after this, and so on. Okay, now I'm really finished. Any questions about this whole thing? Well, you don't have questions now, but wait till we get to the practice. Alrighty, page 10. Correct all of the mistakes that you can find. Let's do this one together. Number 2, no one seems to know when will Maria arrive. Is this correct? It's not correct because we're not asking a question. We are telling you the question. We're not asking you. So this should be when Maria will arrive. It's an indirect question. Number 3, I don't know what does that word mean. Is this correct? It is also not correct. Again, I'm not asking you. I'm telling you this is the question. So it is again an indirect question. I don't know what that word means. No does. So you have to move the S back to the verb. I don't know what that word means. Number 4, I wonder, does the teacher know the answer? Should be, I wonder if or whether the teacher knows the answer, period. I think these are all indirect questions. Yeah, so number 5, this is a question, but we want an indirect question. So I'll ask her if she would or whether she would like some coffee or not. Number 6, be sure to tell the doctor where it hurts. Number 7, why I am unhappy is a noun clause, it's your subject, is something I can't explain. Why I am unhappy. Number 8, nobody cares if or whether we stay or leave. Number 9, I need to know who your teacher is. Number 10, I don't understand why the car is not running properly. And number 11, my young son wants to know where the stars go in the daytime. Questions about this page? Yeah, this counts as review, right? We talked about this before the midterm. Okay, next page. Here we have more interesting questions. Let's also do these together. Turning. Hi, number 1. Baseball is the only sport in which I am interested in it. Yeah, 你有讲义吗？ Okay, 没关系. Do you notice anything wrong with this sentence? Is this correct? Correct. We don't need the it, right? The word it just means which. Which means sport, so you don't need the it. Everything else is correct. Good. Number 2. 张子晴. 张子晴有来吗? No? Alex. Number 2. My favorite teacher, comma, Mr. Chu, comma, he was always willing to help me after class. See anything wrong? Yeah, good. So you already have teacher. This is your subject. The verb is was, so you don't need the he. The Mr. Chu, as you can see from the 2 commas, is extra information. You take this out, does not change the sentence. So you can just ignore that. So yes, if you take this out, it looks like my favorite teacher, he was always, which is not correct. So as you said, take out the he. Good. Number 3, 康敬伟. It is important to be polite to people who lives in the same building. See anything wrong? Is this correct? Are you sure? Good, live. People is plural. Shouldn't be lives, should be live. Good job. Number 4. Lin Yixuan. Yes? Okay, number 4. My sister has 2 children, comma, who their names are Ali and Talal. See anything wrong? Good. We can combine these 2 into one word, right? Which word is that? Who plus their equals whose, right? Belonging to somebody. The names belonging to these 2 people. So whose names? Good job. Number 5, Wang Yuqi. He comes from Venezuela, that is a Spanish-speaking country. See anything wrong? How many Venezuelas are there? Only one, right? So, okay, so if you don't know, in Chinese, this is 委内瑞拉. So there's only one. So no matter what this is, it should not change the meaning of Venezuela. So this should be extra information. Currently, is it extra information? Does the grammar say that it is extra information? Or does it say that it is essential information? There's no comma, right? So we use commas to separate extra information. So currently it says that this is essential information, which means this says that this part will change the meaning of this word. And that's not true. No matter what you say, the meaning of Venezuela should not change. So we need to turn this part from essential to extra. Yeah? The best way to do this is to add a comma here. But we have another problem, which is you cannot add a comma in front of the word that. So what should we do? Good. Comma, which. Now, if you want to save space, you will realize that which plus is a relative pronoun plus a be verb, and you can skip this part. So you can, in fact, just take out which is, and it would also work. So he comes from Venezuela, comma, a Spanish-speaking country is also acceptable. In fact, there is another name for this structure. Same thing here. In this place, you can add who is Mr. Chu. If you add who is, then it becomes a relative clause. If you take out who is, and if it just looks like this is called an appositive. Let me. This is called an appositive. Appositive means that the thing in front of the comma is the same thing as the thing after the comma. So my favorite teacher is Mr. Chu. Mr. Chu is my favorite teacher. So like when we get into this more advanced grammar, you start realizing that even though the sentence only looks one way, there are many ways to explain the grammar. And this, once again, emphasizes the idea that learning grammar is to help you use the language correctly. Theoretically speaking, like the reasoning, the grammar logic, that is just to help you use English. The explanations themselves are not too important. Okay, number 6. Sumiyao. Hi. Number 6. There are some people in the government who is trying to improve the lives of the poor. Good. Who are people? The who is talking about the people, not the government, the people. So this should be are. Good job. Number 7,李文瑜。李文瑜来吗？李文瑜没来吗？Okay, 张良。Number 7. My classroom is located on the 2nd floor of Carver Hall. That is a large brick building in the center of the campus. See anything wrong? Is this part? Good. Carver Hall, comma, which is. There is only one Carver Hall. This is extra information that does not change the meaning of Carver Hall. So there has to be a comma. But we cannot add a comma in front of that. So this must be which. Carver Hall, comma, which is. And then once again, you see that this is a relative pronoun plus be verb. So if you want, you can just take this part out. Carver Hall, comma, a large brick building. And the comma becomes a positive comma. The thing before the comma is the same as the thing after the comma. Carver Hall is a large brick building. A large brick building is Carver Hall. We're talking about the same thing. Good job. Number 8. 杨灿，杨灿汉睡着了，算了。庄丽君。 Ronnie Jean. Okay, number 8, Tony. A myth is a story expresses traditional beliefs. Good. That expresses traditional beliefs is one answer. Another answer is you can say that is expressing and then take out the that is. So this becomes expressing. A myth is a story expressing traditional beliefs is another answer. Okay, number 9, Weehan. There's an old legend telling among people in my country about a man lived in the 17th century and saved a village from destruction. There's more than one problem in this sentence. I think there are 2 problems in this sentence. Okay, yeah, that's wrong. How should we fix this? Told. Yes, told is the one. Because the full answer is there's an old legend that is told. Right? And then we can take out the that is. Okay, second problem. Here. Okay, good. That lived is one answer. Or you can say who lived. Both are fine. So once again, we see how there are different grammatical ways to explain the same thing. An old legend told. Told can be a participle adjective, or it could be the truncated part of a relative clause. Right, so you can say that this is an adjective describing the legend, or you can say that it is part of this relative clause, and that you just took out the that is. Either way you explain this, the sentence looks the same. Number 10, 郭志荣, 黄心如. Number 10, an old man was fishing next to me on the pier, was muttering to himself. Okay, good. An old man taking out the was. An old man fishing next to me on the pier was. That's good. And the other answer is instead of taking out the was, you can add who or that, right? Right? Who was or that was fishing next to me also works. Good job. Number 11, 刘玉宁. 玉宁还在吗？消失了。王佩琪. Number 11, the road that we took it through the forest, it was narrow and deep and steep. Good. Taking out this it, and then good. Also taking out this it. There should be no it's in this sentence. Number 12, 单语词. There are 10 universities in Thailand. 7 of them are located in Bangkok is the capital city. There are 2 problems in this sentence. I think the most obvious one is here. Bangkok, which is. Did you say comma or no comma? Yes, comma. Good, because there's only one Bangkok. Bangkok, comma, which is. The second problem is here. Good. 7 of which. We're talking about universities. So 7 of which are located in Bangkok, comma, which is the capital city. You can also take out the which is. So Bangkok, comma, the capital city also works. Good job. Number 13. 陈思豪. At the national park, there is a path leads to a spectacular waterfall. Do you see the problem? Here, it's missing something. So this is a complete sentence. This is also a complete sentence. Both sentences share this noun. So this should be a relative pronoun. Right? We have to add that or which, right? Okay, good. Number 14, Liu Yutong. At the airport, I was waiting for some relatives which I had never met them before. Good. First of all, we don't need the them. Take out the them. Is there another problem? Okay, it depends. Are relatives people? If you say no, they are a category of person, then there's no problem. But if you say yes, they are a category of person, then you can't use which, right? You have to use who or whom in this case, or that. Okay? Okay, good. Number 15, 温凯翔. 凯翔在吗? Yes, number 15. It is almost impossible to find two persons who their opinions are the same. Do you see the problem? Here. Not that. You're in one place it is persons, in the other place is of the persons, belonging to the persons. So if you put these two together, you get one word. Whose, right? Belonging to them, their opinions. Whose opinions? Okay, some of you might be thinking, wait, shouldn't this be people? It could be people, but persons is also a word in English. It emphasizes an individual person. So two people and two persons, either way, it's two. But if you say two persons, you are emphasizing that they are different people. And in this case, it is emphasizing different people have different opinions. Number 16, 简俊杰在哪里啊? Oh, sorry, yes. On the wall, there is a colorful poster which it consists of a group of young people who dancing. Two problems. Good. You don't need the it. And the other one? Good. This is wrong. How do we fix this? Who are dancing? It's missing a verb, right? Who are dancing? You can also take out the who are, so you just have dancing, a group of young people dancing. And because dancing is an adjective, you can even move the dancing here. A group of dancing young people also works. Number 17, Edna. The sixth member of our household is Pietro, that is my sister's son. Who is my sister's son? Do we need a comma? Yes, we do. Pietro, there's only one Pietro. Pietro, comma, who is my sister's son? And you can also take out the who is. So Pietro, comma, my sister's son also works. Finally, number 18, 徐子涵. Before I came here, I didn't have the opportunity to speak with people who English is their native tongue. Did you say whose? Whose English are their native tongue. I don't think that works. Um, if you want to say their English, usually we use that to emphasize how different people speak English differently. Um, but in this case, that's not the idea of the sentence. And also, English is singular, so this would still be is. Is there a better answer? What if we use a preposition? No, okay, so this would still be related to people, right? So this would be something whom. Yeah, whom. And then what is the preposition before whom? Okay, I'll tell you. For whom? English is the native tongue for these people. Okay? Okay, do you have questions about this page? All right, let's find out what the homework is. Page 12, page 13, page 14. What is this? Yeah, 12, 13, 14. Please finish up to the end of page 14.